Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen on AM 1150, 96.1 FM at WTMP.com, streaming live. We're talking about voter suppression or defeat Obama in 2012. We have in the studio with us, we have Ella Coffey, a local political consultant. We also have Layla Abdul Aziz, the field coordinator for Emerge USA, a grassroots political organization among the Muslim community. And we have Terry Watson. He's the CEO of My Health Recovery and a former chair of the Tampa O-Train team, the organization that helped get President Obama elected during the primary. We have, if you want to have any questions or want to get in on this conversation, 813-251-9867, 813-251-WTMP. This is a hot subject, and it's very important. This subject will weigh heavy on my heart. I start feeling like America's turning into a dictatorship. And I've been here all my life, and you know, I'm American. Give me 2 American flags. But I felt bad this morning talking about this, that we got to be fighting for a democracy that we should already have. This don't make sense to me. And we the people got to make a change. This is a serious matter. I know there are other issues out there with the county attorney, or the man on 40th Street, and all those issues are important, but this go to the core cause. All these laws that's being enacted now is from one bad election. You don't know why you should vote, what the word is?
Rick Scott.
All right, Rick Scott.
Jarvis, one thing.
Let me read this. Before I do that, hold your point, Ella. I got to get this in. This came out today in St. Pete Times. The 2 groups sue over the voting law. They said the bill is a partisan attempt to discourage voters. The American Civil Liberties Union and Project Vote have filed a lawsuit in Miami-Dade County against the shortening of the early vote. One of our local senators, Athenia Joyner, she said this, I quote, "The bill passed by the legislators, Republican legislators, is an example of a rank partisan agenda that disproportionately hurts a minority. It is un-American, and it makes and put a burden on people to vote. Too many people died and fought for the right to vote. This is an abomination, and it's unconscionable." And the man who sponsored the bill, listen to his response. Now you think you're in Tunisia, Yemen. But the sponsor of the legislation, Dennis Backler, said, a Republican from Ocala, said the state needs to ensure there's no voter fraud. Shame for God. Hakeem, the dream.
Well, again, we mentioned it earlier, those who might have tuned in late, there's no evidence of no voter fraud. And when there was evidence of a voter fraud, it took place in the presidential election when Al Gore lost the election in the state of Florida, and we ended up had to go to the Supreme Court. So if there was signs of voter fraud, that should have been brought about at that time. But I'm thankful for a program like Honest Opinion, because we up on current events, and this took place, like you say, in today's paper, and our show is concerning this. So that show you right there that if people really want to stay informed, they want to stay abreast, and they want things that going to benefit them and help them to make good conscientious decisions based on facts and not based on sensation journalism, this is the station, and this is the time of Saturday whenever one of us need to really tune in and benefit from what's being said.
Hakeem, the dream said tune in at 9 o'clock. Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen every Saturday morning. We got the phone line. Let me go to Ella first, and then I'll get back to you, Mr. Watson. Let's go to the phone line first. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. What say you, caller?
Good morning, Jarvis and Hakeem. This is the interim CEO of the CDC of Tampa.
Okay, good morning.
Just want to say great show. And I also just wanted to announce the CDC of Tampa will be presenting a mortgage modification and mortgage scam workshop on Tuesday, June 7th from 5:30 to 7:30. You get information on the do's and don'ts to mortgage modifications, warning signs of mortgage scammers, and learn the different options to avoid foreclosure. It will be held at the Chloe Coney Urban Enterprise Center. That's 1907 East Hillsborough Avenue.
Okay, thank you, brother. And the loan modification is very, very important, and getting the mortgage scam is important. Let's go to you, Ella.
I just wanted to make one point, and I want us to touch on a little bit before the end of the show. We now know what the new law is. I don't want us to just get caught up in the bad law. We have to be prepared that if Hillsborough County is told that we have to abide by this law, we have to be prepared. So there are some steps that we need to take. We need to have the fighters out there still fighting against this bad law, but we also need to have that plan B. So we have to follow the law if it does become effective in Hillsborough County. And I want us to touch on that before we leave the points that the nonprofits and the individuals that want to go out there and register folks to vote. I do want us to take a couple minutes to talk about that.
Oh, we, of course, Ella, we're going to let you do that. Let's go to Terry.
I want to take just a moment to paint a bigger picture about what is happening here. This is not just Florida. This is a nationwide effort to defeat Obama in the upcoming elections. 13 states have either passed voter suppression laws or are in the process of doing so. Those are states like South Carolina, Kansas, Texas, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania. You may know that several of those states have a very large number of electoral votes. This is a nationwide effort going on in the states where Republicans have taken the governor's mansion and the majorities in the legislatures.
All right, then.
Terry,
Terry said this sounds like a grand conspiracy. I came to dream.
How do you see, and I know some of these governors, they up for recall. How do you see this playing out? In other words, if they're able to recall, then hopefully we have a special election, then that hopefully the Democrats will pick these seats back up.
There's no recall. There's no recall law in this state. We cannot recall the governor in this state
Not Florida,
under
but I'm talking about
present
some other states
legislation.
like Wisconsin, and I forgot the other state right now.
Well, it depends. There are different laws in different states.
And then it's very difficult to do a recall. It's very difficult. It takes massive citizen signature, and you got to pay to get those kind of signatures. You're talking about a lot of signatures. You got something on the line?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. Good morning.
Good morning, Hakeem. I really enjoyed the show this morning. This is Candy Lowe. I just throw in there that we have a wonderful, wonderful event that's coming up, the Home Safety Expo. The sponsor that's helping out with that, and a number of other great people in the city looking out for our community. It's going to be on June 18th, that Saturday, starting at 12 o'clock, over at the Hope Center, and that's on 22nd and Osborne, right across the street from Middleton High School. There's a number of vendors that are going to be there, foreclosure information, home improvement, home safety, and I'm encouraging everyone to get out. And again, that's going to be the Home Safety Expo on Saturday, June 18th, 12 o'clock at the Hope Center. Hope to see everyone there. Thank you, Jarvis.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
It's Candy Low tea time. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Go back to the panel. I want to ask now, I'm trying to get right to it. I try to get Hakeem to talk about it. He mentioned it, but I want to get the panel take on it. How important is changing the presidential primary date for the presidential primary? How important that is, Terry? We'll go around the horn on that. Terry don't want to talk about it. He's shaking his head. Go ahead. I know Layla take. How important is they changing the primary date for the presidential preference date?
I mean, it's just a sham. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of efforts. And it's ridiculous that we have to now, as leaders of our communities, as nonprofit organizers, we have to focus so much attention on re-educating people,
Right.
on telling people that
Right.
everything's changed, the system is changing. And I mean, as far as I know, just because some counties have chosen not to take these laws into effect, the primary date is still, it's going to go on unless the Justice Department says something about
That's
it.
okay. You're right. She hit it right on the head. Let's go to the phone line. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. What say you, caller?
Good morning, Jarvis. How are you? Thank you so much for this subject that you're talking about.
Thank you.
Well, I just wanted to call to put the call out to the community that the NAACP is currently putting together a voter registration and education workshop, and I am calling out to all the different neighborhood organizations and all of the Define 9, and to come to this workshop. Some people have already committed, and so far, so we can educate ourselves on what it's going to be. So. And what information that they need to carry out to the community. We still have time under the old voters' rights law to get these people registered to vote. We still have time, so we still have hope.
Okay.
And let's not give up. Just because they passed this bill, don't give up on it. Some people say, well, they don't pass the bill, so we gave up on it. So, but let's not give up on our people and what our purpose is. That's
All
what
right.
I just wanted to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, caller. That's the new chair for the Political Action Committee for NAACP. She doing what we talking about, Dream. That should happen. They'll be doing a workshop organizing and educating people to what the the new laws are that we have to go into effect and have to adhere to. Let's go now and talk about the I-4 corridor and the state of Florida. How many electoral college votes, Ella? Jump in there because you're part of the team over there with President Obama. How important that is? How important that is as to why these voter suppression laws being implemented in Florida? How important it is? You think this is deliberate why they targeting Florida, one of the targeted states?
Oh, almost certainly. The bottom line is in 2008, 2007, and 2008, when President Obama was then a senator running for office, President Obama he played their game. Mm-hmm. Got out, had folks registered, got new people on the rolls. Mm-hmm. Folks that were on the rolls that weren't voting, for whatever reason we couldn't encourage them to go out and vote in previous elections. He played the game by their rules. Mm-hmm. The rules have now changed because he won that game, won their game, beat them at their game.
That's right. Come on, Ella.
And now we're going to move the marker, but that's okay. Because just like we beat them and won the game then in 2007 by registered, in 2008 by registered, we're going to abide by these laws if they come into place here in Hillsborough County and in the state of Florida. You mentioned the I-4 corridor. Orange County, I do not believe, is one of the counties that's fighting this, so we have to make sure that right now in Orange County, we're abiding by these laws. The I-4 corridor is important. Mm-hmm. However I-4 corridor goes, so goes the state of Florida. Yeah. We know down south, we're going to pretty much hold that democratically. We know up north, that's a fight. We're probably not going to make too many inroads in North Florida, but one word, Rick Scott, that may make a difference for us.
That's right.
And you know what's amazing about him? He's been a governor for 6 months and already is involved in 5 lawsuits. Five lawsuits that the governor 6 months has been involved in. But nonetheless, back to the I-4 corridor. The important thing right now is that we learn the rules of the new game.
Right.
And we play by those rules if they come into effect. And in order to do that, nonprofits and those that are out there registering, you have to be trained. And what I mean by trained, there's 16 lines on the form that needs to be filled out. Those 16 lines need to be filled out by the voter correctly. Needs to be signed and dated by the voter. So that you need to make sure that you're trained and that you have those that are going out to train. If you are having an event that you want to do voters registration at, have the supervisor of elections office come out and handle the registration. Don't you take that on. That's their job, to register voters.
That's right.
If there is an event that you're going to be stationary in a park one day, call them out. I don't care if it's a Saturday or Sunday. They will come out to do the registration. Then they're responsible because they have those same, they have to follow the rules as well. Mm-hmm. They have to have that information. They have to have it logged in within so many hours. So many days within their office as well. So they will adhere to those guidelines within their office. So if you're having an event and you're stationary, have them come out. If you're going to do an event where you're going door to door and registering, if you're going to do it on a Saturday, just know that you have to have that the registration forms turned in Monday. Have someone designated within your organization that is responsible for going down to the supervisor of elections office on Monday and turning in those forms. Just be prepared. Know the new rules of the game and play by those rules because we'll win yet again in 2012.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We're going to go now to Layla, then we'll go to Hakeem the Dream in the phone line.
To stay on the topic of the I-4 corridor, the Orange County Supervisor of Election, Bill Cowles, has strongly opposed these measures. And he brought up a really good point. He said in 2008, we had 8,000 people change their address at the polls. That's 8,000 votes that are not going to be counted come 2012. And it's very important because, Orange County has, I think, one of the highest rates of Democratic voter registration in the state. And
8,000, that's a huge number, lady.
Yeah, 8,000. And then these people are all going to be turned into provisional voting.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hold your point. Welcome to Honest Opinion. Keeping it real, making it happen. What say you, caller?